Before the flood, before Noah built the ark, the Bible hints at a moment so disturbing that heaven itself had to intervene. Angels descended from the heavens, forbidden secrets were revealed, and the earth was forever changed. This is the story whispered through the ages, preserved not in the Bible we know, but in the mysterious Book of Enoch. What really happened in those ancient days? The Book of Enoch is one of the most fascinating and ancient Jewish texts ever discovered. It's older than many parts of the Old Testament, with fragments of it found among the legendary Dead Sea Scrolls, confirming its antiquity. While it's not part of the official biblical canon for most, its influence on early Jewish and Christian thought is undeniable. The book itself claims to be the visions of Enoch, the great-grandfather of Noah, a man famously described in Genesis as one who walked faithfully with God. Then he was no more, because God took him away. He's one of only 2 people in the Bible taken into heaven without experiencing death. This ancient text acts like a secret director's cut for the Old Testament, expanding on one of the most puzzling passages in the entire Bible, Genesis chapter 6, where the sons of God came down to the daughters of humans and had children with them. The Book of Enoch pulls back the curtain on this event, claiming that God himself revealed the full, shocking story to Enoch, showing him exactly what happened behind the veil of history before the world was washed clean. The story begins with a group of celestial beings known in the text as the Watchers. These were angels, dispatched from the highest heavens, with a single solemn duty: to observe humanity, to watch over the fledgling creation. But observation turned to desire. They saw the beauty of human women and were consumed by a longing that defied their divine nature. They did not remain mere watchers. Led by a high-ranking angel named Semjaza, a faction of 200 watchers made a pact. They gathered on the summit of Mount Hermon, a place whose very name means curse or oath, and bound themselves to a plan of rebellion. They swore an oath together. They would descend, they would defy God's order, and they would take what they were never meant to have. And so, they fell from grace, descending to the earthly plane. They took human wives for themselves, a union that shattered the barrier between the divine and the mortal. From this forbidden mingling, a new race was born, the Nephilim. The Bible calls them heroes of old, men of renown. But the Book of Enoch paints a much darker picture. They were giants, powerful and ravenous, whose insatiable appetites devoured the resources of the earth. Their existence threw the world into chaos. The natural order collapsed. Violence and bloodshed filled the land, and all of creation began to groan under the weight of this cosmic transgression. The earth itself cried out to heaven for justice. But their greatest crime, the most profound betrayal, wasn't physical. It was intellectual. The Watchers didn't just corrupt humanity's bloodline. They corrupted its soul by unveiling forbidden knowledge, secrets that heaven had intentionally kept hidden. According to the Book of Enoch, God did not remain silent. The angel Azazel taught humanity the art of warfare, how to forge swords, shields, and breastplates. Suddenly, violence became more efficient, more deadly. Others taught the secrets of sorcery and enchantments, how to cut roots and summon spirits, giving humans power they were never meant to wield. They revealed the mysteries of astrology, teaching people to read the signs in the stars and constellations, distracting them from the will of the Creator. It was knowledge without wisdom, power without restraint. Humanity advanced at a terrifying pace, but its morality was left far behind. This forbidden knowledge, a gift poisoned by disobedience, didn't lead to enlightenment. It led to vanity, greed, and widespread corruption. The world became a twisted reflection of heaven's design, drowning in the very secrets the Watchers had unleashed. Creation was unraveling, all because the angels chose to share what was not theirs to give. The earth was crying out, and heaven was listening. The cries of the oppressed and the groaning of the corrupted earth reached the throne of the Almighty. Judgment was swift and decisive. God dispatched his most powerful archangels to restore order. The archangel Michael was sent to bind Semjaza and his rebellious followers, casting them into darkness beneath the earth, imprisoned in chains to await the final day of judgment. Their fall was as dramatic as their rebellion. The archangel Gabriel was tasked with turning the giant Nephilim against each other, inciting them to a war of self-destruction. Their mighty bodies were annihilated, and their spirits were left to wander the earth as disembodied forces, a source of spiritual turmoil for generations to come. The archangel Raphael was commanded to bind Azazel, the teacher of war and corruption, hand and foot, and cast him into the jagged rocks of the desert, covering him in darkness until the great judgment. And finally, the archangel Uriel was sent to the one righteous man left, Noah. Uriel warned him of the coming cataclysm, the great flood that would wash the world clean of all the violence and corruption the Watchers had unleashed. This judgment, Enoch says, wasn't just a punishment. It was a necessary cleansing, setting the stage for a new beginning with Noah and his family. Then, in the midst of this cosmic drama, something remarkable happens to the storyteller himself. Enoch, the man who walked with God, is taken on a journey beyond human imagination. He is lifted up from the earth and guided through the heavens by the archangels. He's not just an observer anymore. He's a privileged guest, a messenger between heaven and earth. Enoch is shown the vast cosmic chambers of the universe, the storehouses of snow and hail, the celestial portals from which the stars emerge. He witnesses the intricate hierarchies of angels, from the seraphim and cherubim to the thrones and dominions, each performing their divine function in perfect harmony. He is brought before the throne of God itself, a place of indescribable light and glory, and is given visions of the future, the final judgment of humanity, the punishment of the wicked, and the reward for the righteous. He sees the Son of Man, a messianic figure who will preside over this final judgment. When Enoch returns to earth, he is no longer the same man. He has seen the workings of the universe and stood in the presence of its creator. He carries a divine message of warning and of hope. And then, his work complete, his testimony recorded, Enoch is taken. Genesis simply says, he was no more, because God took him. The Book of Enoch describes this as a final ascent, a man so close to God that he bypassed death entirely, taken directly into the eternal realm. A man who walked with God until he simply walked right into heaven. So what are we to make of this ancient epic story? Whether you read the Book of Enoch as literal history, a symbolic allegory, or a profound warning, its central message resonates with timeless power. It teaches us that knowledge without obedience can be destructive, that power without reverence inevitably corrupts, and that progress without a moral compass leads not to utopia, but to chaos. The story of the Watchers is a chilling reminder that heaven is not a passive observer. It watches how humanity handles the gifts and the knowledge it is given. The tale of Enoch is a hopeful promise that walking faithfully with God leads to a destiny beyond our mortal understanding. In the end, this ancient text invites us to look at our own world, at our own advancements and our own hearts, and to ask ourselves, are we using our knowledge for creation or for destruction? Reflect on this story, on its warnings and its wonders. Thanks for watching. If you found this journey into the Book of Enoch as fascinating as I did, please like this video and subscribe for more cinematic narratives from the hidden corners of history and faith.